It's year over year comparison time. Last year at this time, we were in the throes of the first pandemic lockdown. So the year over year real estate comparisons are even more striking now than they have been lately. Also, this week, I'm sharing a new analysis of days on market that is particularly powerful, which we'll use to track changes in the market as the year progresses. So stick around for that. It's Monday, April 5th, 2021. And this is your weekly look at the Altos Research data that came in over the weekend for the entire US real estate market. Each week, Altos tracks all the homes for sale, the pricing, all the changes in pricing, all the supply and demand metrics, and we bubble up those analytics so that you can see them before you might find them in the traditional media channels. This Thursday, April 8, is our hour-long webinar. We'll look at how the market is changing in the second quarter. We'll spend some time in the local markets. We'll also look to see if the recent mortgage market changes are yet having measurable impact on buyer demand. There is a link to register for the webinar, Thursday webinar, in the description below. So join us for that. Median home price this week in the US is up again, no surprise. If you've been paying attention, all the leading indicators have been saying this for months. Median home price is $347,000 in the US this week, single family homes. That's up 15% from a year ago at this time. Two forces at play here. The weekly prices are climbing weekly, of course, and that will continue through end of June, at least as the spring buying season hits its apex. But we also have the year over year comparisons right now. Last year, that we were in the initial wave of the pandemic uncertainty. And so home prices were down for the second of 3 total weeks. Like that's it. The whole market breather last year was 3 weeks. So we have our year over year comparisons now jumped up to 15% home price change in that time. The median price of the newly listed cohort, that's the gray-green line here, is flat again this week, 350,000. So this is good. This flat is good. We normally have a seasonal plateau in the second quarter with this when looking at this newly listed cohort. Anything resembling seasonality, like normal seasonality, is encouraging to me. It means the market is insanely hot, but it's not getting insaner in this moment. As we've been discussing for several weeks now, the week over week inventory declines have slowed. The active inventory of unsold properties is ticked down to 310,000 single family homes this week. I'm still looking towards at least the end of April before we see weekly increases in the supply number. Mortgage rates are up from their absolute lows, but they're not jumping each week. So so far the data hasn't shown any signs of buyers backing off at all. The 3.2% is still very cheap, and most of the buyers had their rates locked in below that right now. So we still may see some of that impact in the weeks to come. And we'll keep our eye on the second home markets like the Zoom towns this month, because second home mortgages just got a lot more expensive. And may need another couple of weeks before we see that impact. One of the tricky things about measuring inventory that I talk about a lot is how many homes are getting offers so quickly that they're essentially bypassing the active market data altogether. They're going right to sold, right to pending. Measuring average or median days on market is useful, but maybe doesn't capture the whole story in this moment. So this week, we broke down the days on market analysis to show the distribution of what's happening out there. So for this view, we've created a category of immediate sales. These are listings where home gets listed today, they say we're taking offers Wednesday and Thursday for Friday decision. Sometimes these deadlines are hours and sometimes they're a day or two, but essentially the sale is immediate. And often the offers are in the bag before the house is even officially listed. So this week, 36% of the newly pending sales were essentially immediate. That means you could add 27,000 homes to that 309,000 total inventory number to get a bigger measure of homes for sale. For a broader definition of immediate, we could include those that made it like a week before going pending. And when you look at the immediate in 1 week, 64% of the sales happening right now were on the market for a week or less. That's what we're keeping an eye on. In the Thursday webinar, we'll spend more time with this immediate sales number, and we'll look at the trends over time, and we're going to keep our eye on this distribution for signals of changes in the market when the percentage of immediate sales starts trending down at some point. So that's all the data we have time for today. As always, subscribe to the YouTube channel to stay informed. If you're a real estate professional and you're working with buyers or sellers right now, especially those who are worried, like, do I wait? Do I hurry? I recommend you join us Thursday for the webinar. There is a link to register for that webinar in the description below. Even if you can't make it to the webinar, go to altosresearch.com and just book a demo with us. We'll look at your local markets and we'll talk about how you work with clients in this crazy market right now. There is a link to Altos Research in the description below too. Okay, friends, more next week.